Welcome to Age of Wonders Planetfall. This is a newly released title from Triumph Studios. If you'd like to check out this game, there is a link in the description, and people are already calling this one of the best 4X games of recent memory, and we're going to take a look at it. So there is online multiplayer as well as commander customization right here. So if I were to go and click on this commander customization, you can see the varieties of different factions that you look. I mean, just look. Yes, it is. There are so many different preset commanders that you can choose from, and obviously all of these have different looks and they have different stats and things like that. They have different perks and things. As you can see, this particular commander from the Vanguard comes with synthesis assault equipment, which basically includes a powerful submachine gun and an arc grenade and various other skills that come along with the commander herself. She also comes with covert operative and well, nothing else, because those things actually take up skill points and you can allocate them however you wish. So if you want to, you can actually go here and just customize your very own commander however you want. So your secret technology, for example, you could go for Psinumbra, which employs dark psionic powers to tear holes in reality and summon devious entities from the abyss. You can do that. And then you can play as the Assembly, which are a race of cyborgs? No, cyborgs. Thank you very much. Yes, cyborgs. They're going to exterminate me. I mean, they're going to assimilate me if I get their name wrong again. Anyway, point is, there's the Vanguard. They are basically your standard kind of human types. Then you have the Kirko, which are kind of like insects. And then you have the Syndicate, which are kind of like, ooh, sort of cult kind of guys. And then you have the Amazon, who are very strong female kind of characters. Then you have the Devar, I would assume are kind of like dwarves. I actually don't know. And then obviously you have the Assembly once again. So you can basically choose whatever you want in terms of your race, obviously. And then you can go ahead here and you can select something else in regards to your background. So at the moment, we have the Veteran skill, which basically allows us to start at level 3, which gives us 10 skill points to spend after landing almost immediately, which is actually amazing, and all units gain experience 15% faster. That's actually a really cool skill, in my opinion. That's actually really nice. And obviously, if you deselect this, then you'll gain 1 point back, and then you can use this point to spend it somewhere else if you want to. So for example, Skilled Diplomat. You start with 300 plus relation with all races excluding your own, and also influence costs for bribing armies to leave sectors is reduced by 35%. There are a wide variety of ways to play this game, and if you are a fan of strategy, and indeed, well, grand strategy, then this is definitely a game you should check out. So let's go for a new campaign here. I'm going to skip the cutscene because we're going to be getting a lot of dialogue as we go forward here. And there is a tutorial. I've done the tutorial kind of a little bit, and I've also played a little bit of the first campaign here. Obviously, these are 2 Vanguard missions, and then the next missions you're going to be playing are with the Kirko and with the Devar. Now, personally, I don't really know what those are like, so we might try those out. I personally feel like the Kirko are going to have some really cool technology, really cool units and things. So we're probably not going to play as them right now, because I think that we might have a pretty difficult time just playing a race that I haven't played before. So anyway, we're going to play here. We're going to play with, well, not Jack Gelder. I'm actually going to customize my commander. You can't customize the race in this campaign, and you also can't customize your secret technology. But you can customize what you have. As a result, here you start the game with a larger starting army. You do actually have colonist cryopods as well, which means that you start with 2 extra population and a recreation dome. Now, a recreation dome, what does that do, you ask? Well, there's happiness in this game, so obviously you want to make sure that your civilians are as happy as possible. And yeah, that's going to help out quite a bit. Otherwise, you can just select a variety of different things. As you see here, we're actually starting with the Vanguard assault equipment, which gives us the ranged, specialist, and steady aim skills almost immediately. And we also have a laser rifle and a basic grenade that deals kinetic damage. We have no vice. which is kind of amazing as well. So you can kind of give your commander a certain kind of personality, and you know, if you want to, you can give him the cruel personality. Taking advantage of others is your daily routine. If they aren't serving you, they should be. You gain the following: villain. You are a tyrant to your people, and your colonies have +4 unhappiness. However, you gain 200 of this each time you kill a unit in battle, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, anyway, we're just going to be going for this, just the standard sort of layout for the moment. I think that getting a larger starting army is a good idea, and we're just going to continue onward to the customizations. There are so many different customizations. Look at this, we can even go for kind of like a floating guy right here if we want to, but I'm actually just going to cycle through a couple of randomized options here just so you can get an idea as to what you can actually create. You can even choose to be a female character as well if you so desire. We're not going to do that for the moment. We're just going to we're going to play as the grumpy guy. Robert Lister? No, come on now. Okay, I'm going to call myself something suitably sci-fi. Gems. Yes. Not very sci-fi, I know. I admit it, it's not very sci-fi, but we're going to go for that nevertheless. I could customize my symbol and the color and everything, but I think it goes rather nicely with our background, so that's what we're going to do.
Commander's personal record, Vanguard Expeditionary Forces. Cryosleep cycle completed. No casualties. Time since launch, 197 years. We're finally back. After a storm destroyed our hyperspace passage, we had to take the long way around. Most of us joined the Vanguard to escape our past. 2 centuries should be enough to give everybody a clean slate. Time to contact Vanguard Central Command. We're heading for Leave 6, the military transit hub in this section of the borderlands. The crew is already speculating about visiting the Elysium parks. Gambling, booze, and promiscuous androids. Oh well, after 2 centuries of sleep, it's time for some fun. Something is wrong. We have reached the Leave 6 star system, but instead of orbital patrol, there was only scattered wreckage awaiting our arrival. While searching for survivors, we spotted a ship of unknown configuration. Entering the planet's atmosphere, it ignored our hails. Residual void interference prevents us from scanning the surface. The Elysium parks must wait. We have a new mission. We need to assess the strategic situation on Leave 6. Contact Vanguard Central Command and help them clean up this mess. Prepare for Planetfall, for the Vanguard, and for the Union.
Alright, so there you go. There's our mission, basically. So we have to find out what happened on the planet, and we also have to find the alien ship, and that is exactly what we're going to try to do. Alright, so with base camp set, we're ready to move out. Down here it's the same desolate image as in orbit. It's all desert and charred ruins. The tropical paradise Vanguard Central created for their soldiers gone to hell. Somebody has been fighting a war here. The question is who and when. So far none of our standard frequency calls have been answered. If there are any survivors, they are either cut off from communications or unwilling to talk. Time to search the old-fashioned way with our laser rifles ready. Alright, so we now have, we actually do have a robot here called Tapples. Would you look at that, Lieutenant Jiang? Your little friend is making himself comfortable in this rotten place. Yes, sir, but it's no surprise. My brother used to be stationed at one of the Leave 6 repair stations. This is where we assemble Tapples. He must be feeling he's close to his... Hey, Tapples, what do you think you're doing? Bleep bleep. The robot slips, not the robot, but the robot slips through one of the still unfinished sections of the camp wall. He dashes straight into the desert. Alright, so send out your owl scouts to look for any Star Union presence in the vicinity. Not all armies on the strategic map are hostile to us. So we've got to we've got to bear that in mind. Only when an army banner is showing a skull, you should be careful to interact with it. And so we're going to attempt to meet the Paragon faction. We also have to locate the landing spot of the unknown vessel. This is an exploration quest. And we also have to find out where Lieutenant Jiang's pet pug has run off to. And so there we go. Now we get to play. We actually get to play. We have a wide variety of different resources up there, but we will get into those as we progress through the game. So what I'm going to try to do here is I will try to eliminate any enemies nearby to us. I will try to go to the various quests, and I think I am going to go... Probably going to go somewhere around here. Is that an enemy over there? Yep, that is an enemy. Marauder guards. Marauder guards are certainly enemies. Okay, so we do have a scouting unit kind of thing going on here. So we're going to go over to port 6 with her because she can move a little bit. I think she can move a little bit faster. Looks like our little robot friend has found himself some company. Though, wait a second. Aren't these road sweeper units patrolling the streets? I may not be an expert on maintenance robots, but the last time I checked, they didn't require any laser guns to do their cleanup. Troop hygiene must have really dropped since we've left. Ah, good one, Commander. Though I doubt this place has seen any visitors that would have appreciated a clean walkway in quite a while. It looks completely deserted. Agreed. Either way, I suggest we interrupt this particular mopping up before your little pet gets blown into pieces. Yes, let's hope. Okay, so rescue Tapples before it gets attacked by the maintenance droids. Alright, so that is exactly what we are going to attempt to do. And we're going to have to set our production. And personally, it is a good idea to go for something like, if you don't really care about Tapples and you don't want to rescue him or anything like that, then I would highly recommend doing something like the Central Replicator Factory or something like that, because obviously that's going to give you more production, and as a result it's going to be a lot easier for you to create things, whatever it may be, because production usually does that. So technically I could do that, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to build a bunch of Vanguard troopers, because these troopers are going to come in handy going over to our other commander here, Lieutenant Jiang, and attempting to save Tapples, and that's exactly what we're going to try to do. But obviously she really can't do too much at the moment. She only has an army power of 345, which is decent, you know, don't get me wrong, it's actually okay. You know, it's not a minimal amount of power to have, but it is certainly something that you want to improve as quickly as possible if you are going for military kinds of attacking and things like that. So we're just going to continue moving forward here, and I think we're going to attack these units. Now, I'm gonna admit something right here. Usually when I'm playing these kinds of games, I have played numerous of them in the past, and I'm talking about Civilization. I played Civilization 5 the most, and I also played Endless Legend, one of my favorite 4X strategy games. I played Endless Space as well, a little bit different, but, you know, relatively similar. Well, Endless Legend is actually relatively similar to this, but it is different on all kinds of different ways. But anyway, point is, that and this share a common theme for me, and that is that auto combat is really, really good. Because I am awful at manual combat, but because this is kind of like a special feature sort of thing, I'm gonna be showcasing the manual combat. If I end up losing one of my units, then don't blame me, blame the fact that I didn't click on the auto combat, because the auto combat usually is going to result in a pretty easy victory if you outnumber or overpower the enemy unit in a big way. Now, obviously, that is not the case here. We are not overpowering them in any way, really. And we're going to see what we can do about these units right here. So, here we go. I'm basically going to just explain very, very quickly what's currently going on here. So, obviously, every single unit has a set amount of movement points. And then, obviously, they have a set amount... Well, they're kind of like action points, really. And then you can use Overwatch, you can use defense mode, you can rotate where your units are facing so that you can actually do a better Overwatch, because as you can see right here, you can kind of like do it in these directions. So I'm going to just do an Overwatch right there. And so if anyone wants to move into that, they're going to have a pretty bad time of things, which is exactly what we want. Now, there is flanking in the game as well, so if you are going to be extremely strategic about things, then you're going to have a fantastic time, because you will be able to flank and do a massive amount of damage in the process. Now, I must also mention that units tend to have a... shall we say they tend to have a multi-firing capability. So basically every single unit is going to... Well, not every single unit, but most units with assault weapons, like for example these Vanguards, they will fire multiple times. I think it's mainly because there are 3 units in every single squad, and I think that is a crazy cool attention to detail. So for example, if you look at this assault bike right here, it's probably going to attack only once, or maybe twice, I don't know. But I think it's probably going to only attack once because there's only 1 unit in its squad. Whereas these guys, they all have 3 units in each squad, and as a result they're going to be attacking multiple times. But we'll see what happens as we go forward here. So I'm actually just going to move my hero unit probably somewhere over here into sort of like partial cover, because there is partial cover as well, very much XCOM-like in that way. And I gotta say, I think this game is really good. And that is exactly the reason why I am hopefully going to be showing it to you, which I am doing. But anyway, point is, Overwatch is going to be triggering now, and we're going to see a lot of activations. Oh, yeah, we're getting attacked by the beetle spit, but hopefully we will be able to eliminate the beetles. Ringo's not going to be happy with me, is he? Yes. Anyway, laser rifle. Oh, nice. Good damage. Okay, so we're getting combat jumped as well. These guys have an ability called combat jump, which can stagger your units and push them out of Overwatch, which is really harsh. But anyway, I'm going to just use my laser array to kill that. Whoa, 21 damage. 21 damage is crazy good. And then we'll go for 85% on that. Hopefully that is going to be a kill. I think it is. Yes, it is. And now we will probably just go into Overwatch again and just wait for these guys to come in to our range, because we are currently out of weapon range right now. And obviously these are the easiest things that you're going to be fighting. Obviously that is a given, you know. You're not going to be fighting these later game. They're going to be extremely aggressive and difficult to kill, and you know, you're going to have a much harder time of things. These guys are in kind of like heavy cover, so it's kind of difficult to actually get them dead here, but they're going to have to come over here eventually. So I'm going to just go into Overwatch again, and we'll see whether they decide to come a little bit closer. Yep, they are coming a little bit closer, but they are just attacking my Vanguard assault bike thing. And we can actually deal some more damage right there. You can actually, if you hold control, see a couple of extra stats and things like that. So you can see how many movement points they have remaining and so on and so forth. But yeah, I think I'm actually just going to move back. Yeah, they are also using Overwatch, as you can see right there, so they have a sort of melee form of Overwatch, which is pretty interesting. But I think we can basically just leave everyone on Overwatch once again, and hopefully this guy's going to move into us, because we're dying from poison, which is not very good at all. So there we go. Nope, they've just gone into defense mode. Are you serious? Okay, you know what? I'm going to go right up here, do some damage. I was hopeful that I might destroy the the cover, but things are not going well for me right now. Not a big fan of that, thank you very much. So maybe I can grenade. Ooh, my grenade is not very. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Yes, you can tell that I'm really good at manual combat, can't you? Yes, absolutely. Okay, I'm just gonna shoot. Yeah, that doesn't really work, does it? No. Oh, a little bit of damage. A little bit of damage. Okay. Well, let's just move up. 60%. Okay, that's going to do some damage, but obviously it's not great because these guys are in defense mode, so it obviously is making things a bit difficult. But here's the thing: if we bait them into attacking us and they come out, come out and like actually jump at us, then they're probably going to end up dying extremely quickly. So they're probably being pretty smart, not coming out so easily. But yeah, there we go. My hero was able to eliminate it. Phew. Okay, yeah, so manual combat. There it is. There's manual combat for you. I am not very good at it, suffice it to say. But the cool thing is that when you do combat scenarios and things like that, your hero gains experience. Oh yes, and you can also then gain a whole bunch of extra skills that your hero can use to make themselves even more powerful. We're going to go for nanite support initially with our research, with our military research, by the way. There are 2 different research trees, if you didn't already know, and there's one and there's another one. So you have military and then you have society, and you can do both of these at the same time. And I think I'm going to be taking frontier facilities because that is going to unlock colonizers, which are basically our settlers. So we can take those wherever we want, and we can then research new colonies. Or not research, but construct new colonies. So let's research that. And Juvendril can annex its first sector. Okay, so this is really, really cool. Basically what this means is you can take any unit of yours and you can go to a nearby zone. And I think where's my... Oh, there's my other unit. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm going to have to do that a little bit later on. But basically what you can do is you can, for example, I can go to Forest of the Lost. And what I can do is I can take one of my units there and I can annex that particular zone, which basically means that I take control of the resources in that area, but I don't build another colony there. So it's basically an annex of this colony here, which I think is pretty awesome. Anyway, I actually think that what I would like to do is I'm going to change the colony name. There we go. Shall we call it Jammy Dodger? I don't know whether I should go along the jam route. Next thing you know, I'm going to be having chutneys and all kinds of crazy things in here. Oh well, never mind. I think we're absolutely fine to press N turn and continue onward. Okay, so I am going to have to fight some Marauder guards, and I don't know how long it's going to take me to... How many turns does it take before he gets attacked by the maintenance droids? How long is it going to take? I don't know. Ooh, that's going to be problematic. Okay, so I do want to take this guy over here. And let's merge these two. There we go. Okay, so the armies have been merged, and now I'm going to move over there. And my other hero can move here and hopefully do an automatic combat, which is exactly what we're going to do. You'll see, this is a safe battle, as you can see by what the game's telling me right here. We have an attacker power of 614 and the enemy has 340. So if I do auto combat, I shouldn't lose anyone, and I didn't. If you want to, obviously you can go straight in there and do another manual combat, but obviously as I've shown quite clearly, I am awful. Anyway, production resources move to Jammy Dodger. Okay, what should be built with them? I can build a military skirmisher barracks or a central biofarm. Personally, the biofarm seems pretty fun, so let's do the biofarm. Why not? And we have more orders here to do, so I could go over there, which is a crashed surveyor drone. That might make sense. We might want to have a look at that and see exactly what's going on with it. Oh yes, and stop right there, criminal hold it right there, filthy renegades. Return to your hovels immediately and we won't have to put you down like dogs. What is this madness, soldier? Is that how the returning crew of a sleeper mission is welcomed home these days? Step aside. Let me talk to your superiors. A sleeper mission? Impossible. There are no more ships arriving from the void. Don't lie to me. Ruby Squad, Emerald Squad, Sapphire Squad, you're all madmen. You know what? We'll let you speak with the prefect. He'll show you how we deal with traitors. It's hard to believe these wretched creatures were once proud Star Union citizens. I always felt the Paragon were going too far with their cybernetic enhancements. But this? Are they even still human? And what about calling us renegades? Have their brains gone rotten as well, or is there something more to this? Time to talk to their prefect. Vanguard Central Command will know what is going on. In the meantime, we should keep our eyes open for the commanders of the Ruby, Emerald, and Sapphire Squad they mentioned. They could be trouble.
Objective.
Alright, so there you go. We have searched for survivors, and we have now met the Paragon faction, which is basically a splinter group of the humans that have obviously evolved in the 200 years that our guys have been sleeping. And this is where we search for the Emerald and various other gem squads over here. And yes, reach a peaceful relation with them. To increase relations with an NPC faction, interact with their armies to receive quests or access their dwelling on the strategic map to make purchases within the faction's dwelling shop. So basically what you can do is you can then gain their units if you so desire. Obviously if you don't, and if you just want to kill them, then you can, but obviously it would be a good idea to follow along with the quest, I suppose. But anyway, it's going to take me another turn. You know, I'm just going to go and try and save Tapples, I suppose. I'm actually out of movement points, so I won't be able to do that right now. Let's go into the Surveyor drone. Do we get anything? Yeah, there we go. We actually get to see a little bit of what's going on in the distance there, thanks to the Surveyor drone's data, which is pretty cool. Alright, so let's head onward. Now we got some more enemies over there. And this area is apparently afflicted by nuclear fallout as well, so that's obviously going to be a bit of a headache to deal with. Nanite support is now done. That's very nice. So that means we basically get a nanite support station, which basically heals all your units. And I think that's a really, really pretty powerful thing. You can also get a combat assist system. It's a drone, and the drone purges any negative status effects. And then we have nanite injectors to heal units and things like that. But I'm going to be going for the engineering core now, because you can actually unlock a new unit called the engineer, and that can build gun turrets. And I'm a big fan of gun turrets in general. I think gun turrets and in general engineers that can do that are kind of fun. I used to play Team Fortress 2 way back, probably like 10 years ago or something like that. I used to play an engineer a lot. Yes, I know. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Anyway, here we go. We now have recreational domes available, so that is really, really cool too. So basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go for production development, which will start to get us engineering, or at the very least it will start to get us more industry, and we have a message. Ruffians, outlaws, thugs, how dare they oppose the will of the Paragon? While we struggle to feed the children of our land, these robbers plunder and steal, causing the poor to suffer. There is no future in this. Jams, will you rid us of their menace? Think of the children. Yeah, so that is actually an enemy renegade sort of army that we have to kill. It's basically a rogue army of some kind, and we're going to go in here and see what we can do. Wait a minute. Am I not helping? Ah, yes, I am helping. Okay, fantastic. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to achieve victory here. It's a risky battle. I'm going to try it. We won. Okay, phew. I actually don't even mind losing these 2 units, because these are kind of like scouting units. And personally, I did not find them too effective in battle. So it's kind of nice that we were able to do that automatically. And as you can see here, Tapples is now safe. Come here, Tapples. Now there's a good boy, though you have to promise to never run away like that again. Just look what you got all of us into. Looking around may actually be worthwhile on this occasion, Lieutenant. Do you remember how all the ships here had been polished and flagged for our launch day? Now they look as if they belonged into a museum or the destruction hangars on Gardip 20. Is that 20? XX? I think that's 20, isn't it? I'm awful at Roman numerals. Anyway, almost makes me feel like a living ghost. Alright, so we have now acquired these things. We can take those rewards, and we also get the reward of a new commander unit, which is actually really amazing. So that commander unit is going to be right here, and we can now start pushing in units to that particular squad, and we can then have another commander running around the map. So that is actually going to be it for this episode. If you'd like to see more from Age of Wonders Planetfall, I think it's a fantastic 4X strategy, and if you are any fan of Civilization or Endless Legend or any of the other games that I mentioned, then you definitely need to check this out. There is a link in the description. Otherwise, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.